Welcome to the COVID-19 update. I'm Pat O'Melia here in the Ready to Roll studios. We're on the set of the OC. Before we get into the COVID update and the numbers and all, we completed the Michael Youn tribute. It's on YouTube now. We'll have it up on live stream and on a Facebook soon. It's basically his friends and political allies who have speak their remembrances of Mike. I do a little bit on it. If you're a fan of Michael Youn, or you want to see how well he was respected in Jersey City, take a look at it on YouTube. All right, now let's get to the COVID. As I keep trying to say, it's not the bubonic plague. It is a virus. It's a bad virus. It's like 20 times worse than the flu. Even though the president now refers to it as the plague, 96% of these cases are mild. If you get it, you might even not realize you have it. Very few getting it seriously here. Took my temperature this morning, 96.8, but I was outdoors and my wife came up and did the electronic test. I've been normally around 97.7. Well, we disinfected the studio this morning, taking all the precautions. If you are a small business, this is super important. Somewhere along today, the payroll protection program may reopen. Have your 940s and 941s ready. You're going to have to scan them in and send them over to your bank. You have to have a banking relationship as of February 2020 with whoever you're filing with. Some of these banks were really neglectful on this. One of the banks I deal with, I just read a story about Capital One. They told their depositors the applications are available now the same day it went dry. Wouldn't hurt to call your bank to make sure if they're handling this properly. IRS.org, get you a payment. I know one person so far personally that got their stimulus. I know people who got their refunds and still haven't received their stimulus. So if you're curious, IRS.org, hit get my payment. You can see the status. If they processed your return so far for the stimulus, it will show up. Hopefully they have your direct deposit. If they're sending a paper check, snail mail, you might not see it depending on how much money you made until like August. The rolling start of states have started. I believe Georgia is opening up tomorrow. That's the first state. There were 7 states that never locked down. The more states you can get to open and get the economy going, the better it is for the entire nation. Also, that uses the pool of disaster money to go to states that need it, like New Jersey and New York. There's the United States map there. And if you look at it, you could see what states can open tomorrow. Florida's talking there. They're going to open kind of early also. There are really 2-3 states that have a problem. New York, really New York City, New Jersey, Illinois is becoming a hot spot, and I think Louisiana. Outside of that, I think it's manageable. I'm not a professional, but I think you can open a lot of the United States to get the economy going back again. Brian Stack, Senator Brian Stack, also the mayor of Union City, has a bill that needs assembly approval. It passed the Senate for a rent assistance program. I don't know why we haven't voted on this yet. May the 1st is next week. We need all the help we can get to people to assist them in paying their rent. I'm going to tell you, in Hudson County, in New Jersey probably, about 40% of the residential people can't pay their rent. People are going to have issues. The more help we can get, the better off it is. Why we're acting like it's business as usual with the assembly, they should have voted this remotely to get this going. Like I said, May 1st is coming. Rents are going to be due. A lot of people didn't pay April. Give them a hand paying May, so this way the landlords can pay their mortgages. Unemployment checks, here's another deal. People are having a huge problem getting through unemployment. I know one person who was denied. They quit one job, went to another job, and that job let them go because of COVID-19. They denied the unemployment claim because they quit the job A, to go to job B. They should collect their unemployment, especially in this climate. And there should be no denials, and it's not business as usual. Help the people. Don't deny. I mean, you're looking at the paperwork. Yeah, they left one job to go to another, and that job went bad because of COVID-19. Yeah, you got to have some compassion here. One thing I want to talk, let me put this at the end. Let's do our stats when I start talking about some information from Tucker Carlson, but I actually looked into it, and he's right. The United States, let's put that USA map up again, Mike. USA. All right, the United States, we have a total of 850,116 cases across the United States. You can pretty much look at them where you have it. You know, the bulk of these are in the tri-state area here. We have suffered nationally 47,737 deaths. There's been a recovery of 84,058 people. Like I said, 96% of these cases are mild. So if you get it, you're going to be able to walk through this. Let's put the New York State map up, Mike. There's New York State. Whatever Cuomo wants to talk about Netflix night or his daughter's boyfriend, most of his state can open tomorrow. He's got the hot spot, New York City, epicenter, Long Island. There's the problems there. Once you go further north in New York State, you're not in bad shape. They can open. Again, the more the states open, the more money we can concentrate on the states that are really hit hard, New Jersey being one of them. In this case, a city like New York City. The state of New York has suffered 262,268 cases. They have lost 20,350 residents of the state of New York. New York City alone has 142,442 cases, and New York City has suffered a loss of 10,619. But there are a lot of positive signs. We're definitely on the other side of the curve. Now, we got to protect against any reoccurrence of this or any flare-up, as they want to talk and say. The fine state of New Jersey map, Michael. Yeah, that map is getting redder and redder, ain't it? Again, the dark red is the worst spots. That's Essex, Hudson County, Bergen County, Jersey City. Jersey City should have their own dot up there. New Jersey, we have 95,865 cases of coronavirus. We have suffered 5,063 deaths statewide. Hudson County, we have 11,636 cases. Ocean County, where we're broadcasting from today, is 5,036. And leading the state, as usual, is Bergen County with 13,356. When we're all done fighting this coronavirus, we are going to study this, and there's much to be learned from this, whether it's from manufacturing vital things here. The states, everybody's passing the buck on who was unprepared for this. The states had nothing. You know, we're going to have reserves and stockpiles, whether it's ventilators or swabs or PPE. Each state is going to have an amount, and the feds back that up. Everybody was caught with the pants down here. Nobody really started reacting until probably around March. Like I've said many times, I think Mayor Fulop in Jersey City was the first to react to this. And, funny, actually probably the first to react to this was a sports radio show, Boomer and Geo. They were going to the Super Bowl. And they were talking about the coronavirus. They were worried about being on a plane. And this is, late January, early February. Probably should have listened to Boomer and Geo. Positive signs. Now, these are Jersey City numbers. Christ Hospital right now, 80% of the patients in Christ Hospital are there because of the coronavirus. Again, they're not all critical. Some are there with the symptoms. They were admitted. They've been discharging people at a great rate. Sounds like the president had a great rate. The Jersey City Medical Center right now is at 67% COVID-19 patients in the hospital, and that's a drop of 10%. So we're definitely on the other side of the curve. Jersey City, my home. We have suffered 4,206 cases. we have lost 229 residents. The highest hit age group is 31 to 50. They make up 37.6% of the corona cases in Jersey City. I still am waiting for Mayor Fulop to give me a ward breakdown so we know where this concentration is. The one singular group from 31 to 40 makes up 19.3%, but that's a drop of 2%. Ages 61 to 75 and over amount for 60.7% of all the coronavirus deaths in Jersey City. The average age of a male who has passed on is 62.9. The average age is 66, and males, the deceased, have made up 62.9% of the deaths in Jersey City. And the hardest hit group all around is from ages 31 to 60. They represent 55.2% of all the cases in Jersey City, but that's a drop of 0.8%. Now, at this point, I normally go over what you need to do to protect yourself. But I mentioned this a couple days ago. I watch all the news shows, ABC, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, Fox, Channel 2. I read 4 newspapers a day. I have all the apps. And one of the things we're always talking about is shelter in home. Is that the best thing to do? Because you're not locked in all the time. Somebody's going to the grocery store. Someone's going to the pharmacy. Someone's going outside, and then they're coming back. Is shelter in place the best thing? Probably not, and I guess common sense will bring you to that. An MIT professor put it this way: when one is outside, the air circulation and wind, the virus is easily dispersed, and it's less concentrated. Kind of makes sense. I'm not sure being locked up in home is the best thing. In China, where this all broke down, this all came out, they did a study of 320 towns in China over a period of 1 month during the pandemic, in order to determine how the virus spreads. It turns out the most common place patients were infected is in their homes. 80% of the outbreaks began at home, indoors. 34% of the new cases began on public transportation. How many times have I talked about taking the train and the buses? COVID-19 tubes. And here's the conclusion. All identified outbreaks and 3 or more cases occurred in an indoor environment, which confirms that sharing indoor space is a major infection risk. Yeah, it only seems to make sense that we should be outside. So what I'm saying here, we should open our parks, our boardwalks, and our beaches. One thing we have learned as a population and as a people is social distancing. I'm even wearing the mask and the gloves. For that matter, I just bought 2 boxes of gloves today. I probably should bring a box into the studio. But we do sanitize everything in here. All right, so if you're looking for a coronavirus test, you can get it from LabCorp. And you do it at home, and you mail it to LabCorp, and you get the results fairly quick. There are testing centers all over the state. Go to your city or town's website. Go to the county website, the state, and you'll find them. As always, the symptoms are the runny nose, the sore throat, the cough, the fever, difficulty breathing, loss of appetite, and loss of taste and smell, which is one of the earliest signs of COVID-19, the loss of taste and smell. And if you got type A blood, be extra careful. You seem to be susceptible to this. As I said before, 96% of all the cases are mild. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. If you got this sanitizer, use it. Don't touch your face. Social distancing. Keep the 6 to 8 feet. Wear the mask. Wear the glove. I'm not even going to say stay indoors anymore. So I think somewhere very soon we got to open up back to the public. All right, that's it for today. I'm Pat O'Melia. You stay safe and healthy. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.